Music Matters. We're here with Camrose. How you feeling, guys?
What's going on, man?
Great, good to be here.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This the third or second. I don't know how many bands. I haven't done that many bands. I've done a lot more individualistic people, so it's cool to have you on, especially knowing Shane and then just listening to what you guys have in store. I'm pumped for this interview.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, you guys want to run me through who's in the band first? What you guys do individually, instrumentally? Like, what is your collaborative process like?
I guess you can start with that.
Evan, introduce yourself.
Hi, Evan. I'm the guitarist.
Hey, try to get a little bit closer. That's good. That's perfect.
Yep. My name's Evan. I'm the guitarist.
Lead guitarist.
Lead guitarist.
Yeah, I'm Ben. I do vocals and rhythm guitar.
And I'm Shane. I do the drums.
Yeah, and then Giuseppe's not here. He's our bass player. But yeah, Evan and I met each other in college, and we kind of started writing music together. I guess 4 years ago now, or 5 years ago ish. And then yeah, when I moved down here a few months ago, and we started up again. So we kind of we started writing that way, and then Shane and I know each other from way back in the day, middle school. And then we know Giuseppe from college also. So that's kind of how we all got together.
So it was you three, and then you guys got Shane involved with it?
Yeah, pretty about the same time.
It was more us.
It was just me and Evan. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
We had continued we'd been talking about starting a new band for a while now. And then we finally met up, started writing some new songs. And then once we had, just a song or two, we started to realize we need the other members of the band. So we started reaching out. It didn't take very long to find.
That's why you moved to LA.
Yeah.
Right.
How long after you guys met did you originally start writing music? Did you meet pretty much through music, or did you meet in another way?
We met in college. Had a lot of mutual friends, and then
Pretty much immediately though.
yeah, with a lot of my friends and his friends, we were both kind of the music guys. We both played music, both wrote music. And then once we figured out that each other did music, it didn't take it took
A month maybe. In the first month we started jamming together, and especially because we went to Chico State, and it's just such a small college town that and then especially within individual friend groups, you find out people do music and stuff, and you kind of get linked up pretty quick like that. And we had similar music tastes, into a lot of just different alternative genres, reggae, rock, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so we started writing a little bit, but we mainly just when we were up in Chico, we kind of just wanted to play for people, and we knew that a lot of guys and gals up there probably didn't want to listen to heavier alternative music, so we kind of went the reggae route for a while, just to have more fun playing shows and stuff up there. And we played a lot of parties and acoustic shows and stuff like that. So that's kind of how we met and got started up there. But then he came down here for work about a year ago. And then I was looking for he's a year ahead of me in school, and then when I came down about 3 months ago, I kind of came half for work and then half to come write music with him, because he's pretty much the only person I've ever had a collaborative collaborative success in writing music. Is we just work well together for the most part.
well and fast. And
Yeah.
So Ben, this is the first band you've been in?
No, this is fourth, or if you count our first one, then this is the fourth. First band I was ever in was with Shane back in the day, when we were
because you're 2-3 years ahead of me.
Yeah, you were 12 probably.
Yeah, 12, 13, bro, banging on the drums, and he was.
We were a classic rock cover band.
Yeah,
That's
my
crazy.
brother was in with us too.
Yeah.
So,
12?
Our friend Michael, yeah.
I think we were 13 or 14, so
Yeah.
you must have been 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there was that one, and then I was in another band in high school, but I never really got serious about singing and stuff until college and music writing, and then when Evan and I met, that stuff gelled really well together. I've also I write kind of my own music, which is more kind of folky singer-songwriter stuff that's I not really adapted for full band kind of stuff. So I have a little bit of a focus on that, but yeah, this is the fourth band, I guess, second band that me and Evan have started together. So So yeah.
Evan, when you moved down here for work, what kind of work was it? And was
Yeah.
it because of school?
Both. So in school, I studied audio engineering, recording arts. So I was in the studio a lot, and then after talking to some people who have kind of made it in the industry, they all kind of led me to say, hey, you need to either move to LA or Nashville. You need to go where the industry is.
Yeah.
So I moved down here actually before I had a job, and then COVID happened, and I was without a job for a few months, just applying to studios, every studio I can. And it didn't take too long. I don't know if because of COVID they were just needed staff quick or anything like that, because maybe a lot of people left. But I was able to get a job in the studio pretty quickly, and then ever since I've been moving up in the studio toward engineering pretty fast.
So you were doing more like chief engineering, mixing type stuff, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And then
Long answer, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. in terms of musicality, like, were you in the what were the oh my lord, what were the bands like that you were in previously?
Previously, so in high school, I guess in middle school I was in a band, but we played a lot of. In middle school, it started off a lot of classic rock covers, and then in high school, we started writing originals, and we started doing covers of. That was a lot of alternative rock, indie stuff as well. A lot of Weezer, a lot of Cake, and I think a few others. And then a little bit more mellow. I think we did. What else did we do? Anyways, I can't think of the names right now, but it was a little bit more. It's kind of like what we do now, but a little bit more mellow. And then after that, we started going to the reggae in college, and we like to mix up the genres a lot.
What was the transition from that to like an audio engineering stance? Like how'd you originally get into mixing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been into music, and then in high school, I did I did the music tech for the whole school. I mean, I kind of just got put into the position, working theater events, working big rallies, and just doing the audio for everything. Football games, doesn't matter. So I kind of liked the technical audio work, because I was able to do. I wanted to be an engineer initially, like just do engineering for college, and then I figured out it's like, I could do music and engineering. They have audio engineers, and so one thing led to another. I was like, I knew pretty early in high school that this is what I wanted to do, especially because just being in the studio, then I get studio time for my own music, and I'm able to balance both pretty nicely.
So you make your own solo music as well?
No, not solo music, but like
just
I'm able
camera
to work
stuff.
on stuff like for the band. In the
I got
studio.
you.
And we're gonna go to the studio later today, actually.
Yeah.
Work on an EP. So excited
EP,
about
man.
Getting there.
Oh yeah. So in terms of when you guys learned how to play music originally, were any of you guys in band in school, or were you self-taught, or how'd that kind of process come about?
Yeah, I've been in band since. Shoot, I mean, well, I see. I taught myself how to play.
Yeah,
the
you
drums.
were in band in high school, huh?
Yeah, in middle school and elementary school. I was in
Damn,
band. I've been in
really?
band since like 4th grade, playing percussion, do like bells and like triangles
Block
and
and
cowbells,
steel.
all that shit. And
Accompaniment.
I remember
All
seeing
that,
him at the
exactly.
football games, and we would all show up
Triangles.
we would show up all faded, and I'd see Shane just like going in on
Yeah.
the, on the
was
drum
in
in
my-
the stands.
yeah,
Were you
so
in
yeah.
Were you in drumline?
yeah, marching band, drum line
Nice.
for a freshman and sophomore year of high school. But then I was in jazz band from like 6th grade all the way up until senior year. So I can play jazz pretty well, and from jazz I can play Latin. So
Can you read music?
What?
And can you read music?
Yeah, I can read music.
I didn't know that.
I can
Like
I can,
drum charts or like actual music?
actual music scores. I can probably write drum music at this point.
Yeah.
And like I can sight read pretty well. I can do all that. I mean, it taught me a lot for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the time, I probably didn't value it as much, but now I look back, I'm like, damn, like it really helps because a lot of people, don't really know how to do that.
A lot of people
don't
know,
know how to do that, and it's way harder to learn now, obviously, than it is when you're younger. So yeah, like I said, I've been doing it since 3rd grade. I taught myself how to play, and then was in band all the way through middle school. Also in my own band, Kilroi, for a while. Like I said, we started out with him, and then so I was in that for like 6 years, probably 5 years. And so yeah, I've been around music pretty much my whole life.
How did Kilroi like originally start?
Were you in that?
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't in it. It was you, Michael, and Max, right?
What year do you think that was? Like 2014, 15 maybe? It was like 2014, 2015. It was
high school,
my brother.
for sure. Definitely high school.
Yeah, I played the drums. Our friend Michael played bass. And then my brother played guitar and sang. And we started playing because we all grew up in the same neighborhood, like right down the street from each other, obviously. I mean, my brother lived together and Michael lived right down the street. Ben lived pretty close too as well.
Yeah.
So
we were always hanging out.
Exactly.
And his parents were cool enough to actually let us play loud music at the house.
Yeah.
in our garage, we had
often.
our drum set. We had a whole set of all the guitar amps and shit like that set up.
Yeah.
Has a lot of that knowledge that you learned from just coming up in that Bay Area scene and learning about live shows and just presence and stuff like that, has that been pretty transferable to Camrose type stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we haven't we've only been together for a month now, I'd say.
Full band, probably
we
about a month now.
We had 3-4 practices, but I mean, especially when we start playing shows and stuff, yeah, it's gonna be a lot better knowing that we've all kind of been around the scene for a while and we're all kind of used to it.
Yeah, I think
we're not like rookies,
Yeah,
we've all kind of so to go back to your original question about how I learned music, I had piano lessons when I was like 11 or 10 or 11 probably, and then but I mean I was elementary school boy, I didn't think piano was cool.
Yeah.
I was over it. It just seemed like extra work. But I learned how to read music a little bit back then. Don't really know. I can really if I really look at it, I can probably figure it out again. But yeah, after that, I kind of when I was probably 13, I was just I just thought guitar players were just the coolest thing ever. People that play guitar, and then I listened to a lot of classic rock, like Shane was saying, that's all we you, me, and your brother, we idolized, AC/DC and all that kind of stuff, Led Zeppelin, Chili Peppers. We listened to a lot of that kind of music, and so yeah, I just really wanted to learn, so I just taught myself just through tablature, and just a lot of practicing, and then like I said, I sang a little bit in high school and stuff, but didn't really get serious about that and songwriting until college, but yeah, I think all of our different collective, we all have a lot of live music, live performance experience, and we also have a lot of band experience. So it hasn't been hard to mesh it all together. We're still learning how to work off of each other a little bit, but if you heard us play right now, you wouldn't think that we started a month ago, right? I mean,
no.
It's gelling together pretty well.
We all have really good chemistry off the bat. I mean,
because I've played with you, and then I've played with you, and the only thing that we've thrown together so far is our bass player, and he played guitar originally, and then we're and he plays bass too. But we're yeah, you want to come play bass for us? And he's just, I don't think he's ever been in. Has he been in a band before or no?
Yeah, I think so.
A while ago though, right?
How'd you meet him?
College,
okay.
Mutual friends,
same type thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But having been in so many other bands, I think for all of us, it was good practice playing with other people, because at first when you play with the same people for so long and then you play with new people, it's hard to get in the groove. But because I think we've all been with so many different groups and so many different people, it didn't take very long to immediately just kind of get the vibe.
Totally
you find that pretty quick.
Totally agree, yeah. And it's kind of ties in with my sight reading shit. It's the same thing. I'm playing shit for the first time right off the bat. When we first played. The first song, I remember, we were all damn, it sounds pretty good just for the first song right off the bat.
Yeah.
It was right away,
And we only had one demo recorded that I sent him.
Yeah. He came over and played a little.
Yeah, I played him some of our other songs and stuff, but I sent him the demo, and he's yeah, I can play that. I know, because like I said, it was just the band was me and Evan. The band, it was just us writing music for the first month or two.
So Camrose was originally just you and Evan.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. And then when we did the demo, we just we can both play bass and stuff. Obviously, it's so we were tracking that, and then he had just a drum. What do you call it?
I
program on the so we did all electronic, just see what it would sound like. But we knew now that stuff's opening up, and obviously we want more collaboration and more more ideas. We're okay, we need to get a full band together.
Was the goal always to have a full band? You just couldn't find one? It was?
At least for live shows.
Live shows, yeah.
As far as writing, I had started, I played drums for years before getting into guitar and piano and all the other instruments. It wasn't until high school I started playing guitar, so I was feeling comfortable with drums, but it's been, 8-9 years since I've strongly played drums. And then once I started writing the drum parts for the songs that we had, I realized that I'm not as creative in drums as I used to be, so it's definitely nice having Shane write the drum parts instead of me, because I'm.
I got the approval though.
It's very, what I had was very basic compared to what Shane comes up with.
But when it does come to song, so far, when it does come to song ideas and structure and all that kind of stuff, it's mostly been Evan and I. I guess the kind of our creative process and stuff is like Evan will come up with a guitar concept, or I'll come up with a guitar concept, and then we'll kind of both build it out from there, and then I'll write lyrics for it, and we'll try to. But like, I mean, once that starts, like once we do find that, like that first melody or like that first riff, like it is pretty downhill from there. Honestly, like.
Yeah, I'd be interested in trying to start. This is something I've been wanting to do, but I would love to try, writing a song or two, starting with the drums or something, and building off that.
Yeah.
I know.
Or even a bass line, if G-Sup can come up with like a cool bass line.
U2, the band U2 has a ton of songs where they said that they would start with the drums and then build off that.
Yeah.
I think
Bloody Sunday was started with the drums, and it's because
Yeah.
that snare roll is just like so iconic. That
Yeah.
it's like that drum part alone has like so much character to it. I feel like there's a lot of drum parts you could probably build tracks off of, just because it's. And I mean, like, drums are a rhythm instrument if you make them a rhythm instrument. But if you were to start with a drum line, you could much easier, I feel like, build something up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could definitely be argued that we could get into creative ruts also, just starting with our same process, but like if we were to hear something else, it's like outside of how our brains usually write together, and then we're just like, and then, we'll hear a drum beat and be like, okay, like that's a totally different, and then you just hear something in your head that you probably just wouldn't have thought of before.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. We're kind of just right now we're kind of just gearing up to start playing live. And Evan and I have written about like 4 or 5 songs that we're kind of just like now sharing with the full band, with Shane and G-Sep, and kind of just getting everyone up to speed and getting ready so that we can start playing live when everything opens up and stuff starts getting out there. But
So you guys haven't played anything live yet?
no, like I said, like we've had
That's tough, yeah.
Yeah, we've literally had like 4 practices though, like, and we're almost ready to start playing. I mean, like in the next we could be ready like in a month probably to start playing.
Well, Ben, myself, and Giuseppe, we've done one, I guess you can call live shows, but it was a small show with like 20, 30 people. Started off with an acoustic set, and then we did a full electric set. Mostly covers, but we did play,
played some originals.
We played like
we played
our
our originals. Yeah, we played our originals and stuff, but they've ebbed and changed a lot since then because we've had the full band. Like 2 of the songs are just like almost completely different now because like once we do get it to that full electric, like full set, like it just changes. Like like It Shows has gotten like way heavier since we've gotten the full like we had the concepts for it, like we had the acoustic guitar, like we'd only really jammed on our acoustics, and then like 2 of the songs we brought to the band, and we're like, okay, like we're gonna show you what we have, but like as far as writing it, it's like the structure was down, but we're like, we have no idea how the fuck this is gonna sound like when we get it to a full band, and it's been sick so far. So yeah, we're just getting ready to play right now. But once we do get a little breathing room, and we get some more stuff recorded, then we'll probably all start writing a little bit more together in a little bit more of a collaborative effort that way.
Have you guys had the chance to start like booking anything yet? No, huh? It's crazy. Everything's still so all gone.
I don't know anywhere yet with, at least not in LA with live. Austin, Texas, they've been having live shows for.
There's a bunch of places in the country.
Tennessee's popping too.
Tennessee's always popping. Tennessee's so sick.
We have a friend of ours from college that is starting to intern for like a management company, so he might be trying to like hook us up a little bit with trying to book us shows and stuff like that. But right now our main concern is getting things. He's literally calling me right now. That's so weird. That's so weird.
Yeah, our main concern right now is just getting some music out. Once we release this these first few singles, then it's gonna move quick.
Hell yeah. Where'd the name Camrose come from?
It's the street I live on.
Is that it's really just that? Is it the street you live on?
Yeah, well, like it's not just that. Like, I mean, yes, it's the street I live on, but it was kind of that first step of moving to Hollywood to pursue the dream of kind of starting the band, and it was the start of,
the start of you being here. And then like when I came down to visit him for the first time, to visit Hollywood in general, because I was thinking moving here for work and music obviously too, but I came down here for, got to pay the bills, so I got a job. And this is when I was still like in the interview process, and I came down here and I stayed with him, and that's when we wrote Blow My High. Like when I came to visit, in like those 3 days we wrote the first song, and we were like just bullshitting about like what we should name the band, if I did come down here. And we were just like on Camrose Street, and it was like
a lot's happened on Camrose.
What's your 9-to-5 job right now?
I do sales for Milwaukee Power Tools.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so kind of a double life.
Yeah. 2 full-time things.
I work for Bud Light or Budweiser, so we are sponsored by Bud Light.
And Milwaukee Power Tools.
As he looks at the camera,
That's a deadly combination.
They will pay you for saying that.
Yeah, chew big red.
That was a bonus right there.
You should drink a bunch of Bud Light, and then go use Milwaukee Power Tools.
There you go.
That's probably not recommended.
Put the ads in the video so you don't have to watch them.
And where are you originally from?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm from like the Sacramento area, Rockland,
Okay.
Roseville.
And then you went from there to Chico?
From there to Chico, went from Chico to San Francisco.
What were you in the city for?
I was working for Eventbrite, doing event management and stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that.
cool. That'd be a cool job.
I left Chico with 2 degrees, one with audio engineering, the one in music industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I always knew I wanted to do the engineering side, but I was testing out the waters on the business side of things, and it was fun, especially Eventbrite. I mean, it was awesome, but it was a little more desk job than I wanted.
Yeah.
I like to be a little more hands-on.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, SF, and then SF's cool. Ugh. SF's not cool.
LA's a place,
SF
baby.
sucks.
What do you like about SF?
It's dirty. So dirty.
It's very dirty.
Can't breathe there.
Tons of people, and you can't really
Very
escape.
valid.
It's it's almost in this island. You're stuck on it. They have the park and you have a beach, but like here in LA, to get out of the city, it's so easy. You have
The whole city's like a freeway.
you got
Yeah.
Angeles Park for camping and stuff like that. You have I live in Hollywood, so you're kind of not even in the city as much.
Mm-hmm.
But then Santa Monica's right there, Malibu's right there. You have just options.
The way I could say it is, SoCal's the only place you can go from the snow, Big Bear, and one day you can go from the snow to the desert to the ocean. One day you got Big Bear over there. You can get like Joshua Tree right there and way back, and you can get the beaches, and that's you can do it all in one day. And you can't do that really anywhere else.
Right.
That's true. That's a good point.
It's the same. It costs just as much, if not more, to live in SF, and you get half the amenities, if not less.
Yeah, and SF is just like it's so compacted that like
It's very
because we were both like he was there for work. I worked there for like a month and just like hated it because I was commuting and then just like it's like downtown LA. Like that's like everywhere that we worked, like in the financial districts and stuff like that. Like it was just like it's just high rises and like I have enough anxiety as it is, dude. Like I can't be around that.
Yeah.
stuff.
It's just not
Like you
somewhere I
can't
wanted
breathe.
to live.
Ever.
But the city itself, I mean, don't get. I love it. I
There's
would
cool
love to-
parts for
I
sure.
would
It's
love
fun to
go
look
back.
at.
The food,
Yeah.
the food,
It was fun to look at.
like the vibes, the nightlife there can be fun.
If you have money.
If you're staying in
Yeah,
you're
if
staying-
you live there, you have money.
If you're staying in the city, then it's fun because then you have a way to get home. But BART closes at midnight and bars close at 2. So if you want to stay in the city till 2, then you don't know how you're gonna get home because you can't take BART.
That's a good point. It's an interesting dynamic.
Dude, yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's just, and then like if you need to take the ferry, transportation. I think that's the worst part.
It's just
about this,
not
transportation.
fun.
Except transportation here is not much better because we don't even have trains in LA or anything.
That is
we
one of
do-
the nice things about the city, the
We
whole
have
BART
the metro,
system
but-
and the.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we miss about Chico though, is because like Chico is so small. Like everyone that we knew was like within like a 10 by 10 block of each other.
everywhere.
All the bars we went to, all the house parties we went to, like school. Like our house when we lived together, we lived across the street from the gym, two blocks away. We lived on campus almost. Like it was a house.
Yeah.
It was fully a house, but
And
like
the bars are right there.
the bars were like 3 blocks away. Like
And
we just like skated everywhere. Like we didn't even have to drive.
and
then
it's cheap.
everything
and
was
it's
cheap.
so
Yeah.
cheap.
Chico's cheap like that? I didn't know
Oh
that.
my God. To
yeah.
live there, to drink there, we were paying $1, maybe $2 for drinks. For
Yeah. Happy hour.
NorCal's
It's
just
like
cheap in
Pellegrino. It's like
general.
Reno.
Well, no, it's just
Reno's like a
weird.
$2
Like
beer.
Chico's in the
Reno's
middle.
awesome,
Of
too.
Chico's in the middle of just like farm. It's
Yeah.
like there's Chico, which is
probably why
like
it's
great,
cheap.
great college town, and then it's just like there's like not much else like around it as far as like city and nightlife stuff like kind of goes. It's like a lot of farmland and like stuff like that. It's beautiful.
It's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Highly recommend.
But coming from like going there and like being able to like walk everywhere, and then now it's like, okay, like who's gonna call the $40 Uber, or like who's gonna drive us like through like the 45 minutes of traffic to go just 20 minutes down the street to the beach or whatever, you know?
That's why a lot of people are moving like up to Sacramento too. Like there's just a huge influx of people going up that way, and like it's because it's just ridiculously cheaper. It's like people from the Bay Area moving up there. It's just so much cheaper.
Housing prices are going up there too.
Yeah.
But Sacramento's cool. It was a nice place to grow up. I don't think I'd want to live there now.
Uh-huh.
Downtown Sac's got some cool
old
bars.
Sacramento.
I played tons of shows up there with Kilroi in Sacramento.
Yeah, you guys did, huh?
You ever played the Ace of Spades?
No, not
Ace of
that one.
Spades.
That's like the main one, though.
Ace of Spades is
that's a
sick.
cool venue.
I saw the Expendables there in high school.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was
I've
pretty
been there
cool.
a few times.
Yeah, Sac's cool. I have a friend who lives up there, so I'm up there a good amount, and it's always like I could definitely see the whole influx thing becoming like a big problem for Sacramento, because it eventually could just become just like the Bay Area, just like a bit less desirable in location, I guess.
Right. Warm too. Like it's so hot there.
It's so
I was
hot.
there last
yeah.
week. It was like 90. No, it was 102. It was 102 last week.
That's brutal, bro. Oh
yeah,
my god.
102 degrees.
Can't do that.
Where are you from?
I'm from Concord, Clayton.
Same as us.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
He
so-
went to TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I did
it's
not know
weird.
that, dude.
But yeah, this with a bunch of like I've been meeting a bunch of people, and it's like I had no idea any of them were from
Yeah.
the Bay.
Damn, that's wild.
Like Philly, same thing. Or Jake, I didn't know any of them were from the Bay.
Yeah.
Huh.
I guess
Yeah.
I am like 3 years younger than you. That would make sense.
Yeah, true.
Just to press the camera now.
Yeah, in a second. But so what's your practice schedule looking like recently? Like, are you guys practicing as a band like consistently, like once a week, or how's that working out?
It's been about once a week for a while now. I mean, last weekend was the first weekend since we started. We found a great rehearsal spot that's affordable.
Yeah.
Bedrock LA, shout out.
They
Shout out Bedrock.
they provide amplifiers, and you don't got to bring anything.
Bring anything.
And
Just-
they have
there's no-
PA speak- oh shit.
Like I said, there's no setup or takedown time. It's all you just go there, bring your guitars and your sticks. Yeah, you get to go.
And they charge you hourly or what?
Yeah, it's like $20 an hour, but it's a big ass. It's a
nice.
decent sized room. You get AC in there, like all the big ass PA.
It's worth it just to not have to set your rig up.
And,
Like,
and
honestly,
it's nice equipment too. It's nice speed, nice amplifiers.
it's the best
nice
place I've ever practiced for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, dude.
Split it before
And they have
24
they have
people.
and they also have actual recording rooms. They
So
have,
there's a drum
solo
set and
rooms.
everything there. You just
Yeah.
show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, microphone setup.
Everything's set up literally to play. You
I bring my own
guitars.
mic and
Bring
stuff.
your guitars,
'cause,
bring your sticks. You can
That's
bring
just
cymbals.
because
of COVID,
Or you
yeah.
can rent cymbals there too.
You can rent cymbals
Yeah,
there.
they have everything you need there.
That's sick. So you said you guys have been there like once a week.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
the
bro.
thing is, we all we all live in, so we're all like working adults now, rip, but so we can't really practice during the week, and then we had to find a practice space though, because we all live in apartments in LA, everyone's
it's
on
tough.
top of each other, and if we're like actually like we need to practice like full set, and like see how shit's gonna sound, like we can't be jamming out in his apartment, my apartment, like here, like there's.
I've gotten too many noise complaints.
People wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
we play like acoustic guitars and sing and like have beers, and it's like
Yeah,
his
just-
landlord's already texting us like it's too loud,
Yeah, we
let
could
alone
use-
like a drum set, dude. That would never happen.
Then we use the big ass speakers, and it sounds more like an actual like a live show, like that we're gonna be playing.
Uh-huh.
Like, you just get a feel what it's actually.
And you got to practice like you're gonna play, because if we're just like, well, you know what, like we're in here with like on one snare drum and acoustic guitars, and then we try to go play like a live set, it's gonna be like we're not gonna know what we're doing,
Exactly.
but yeah, so we're getting there though.
So did you guys like almost immediately start writing after you formed, or were you jamming at first?
Well, we've been writing together since we were like 18, 19 years old, like a while ago.
So it's a lot of that
Yeah,
material.
but no, we do we love reggae. Like honestly, that's like kind of what we started doing.
Yeah,
cover wise.
we wrote a few originals that were reggae when we lived in Chico.
Yeah.
I graduated the year before, so I moved down here. We tried writing music long distance. Like I tried sending him some
That's
stuff.
tough, yeah.
It's just hard because for one, you got to have the right equipment to be able to record and by yourself and send it, and it's hard to vibe out. It's slow. It's just slow.
Yeah.
Collaborating with someone that's not with you, it's just a slow process. Just file transfers and figuring out what they want. like if you don't like something, you can't tell them right away. You have to wait for them to bounce the file, send it to you, and then be like, you know what, I don't like that, just to send it back for him to redo it.
Exactly, yeah.
Rather than being in the room and be like, hey, I don't like that, and just re-record right there. And so the whole long distance writing music, we stopped writing music together for about 2 years, a year or two.
A year or two.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, 2 years, because there was my senior year of college, and then I moved back home during COVID. Like COVID, everyone lost a year pretty much, but yeah, we just have like different mindsets now though. Like back then, like when our band was called Six Inside, and we were like mostly a cover band. Honestly, like we had like 2 or 3 originals that we played and stuff that we wrote that were like reggae rock kind of stuff, but a lot of the stuff we played was covers. But we had a different mindset back then. Like we always loved writing music for us, you know, and that was cool. But you know, we wanted to just to gig and play parties, talk to girls,
yeah,
you know.
Fun,
so like yeah, just have fun. So you know, that was what we were doing then, and now that we're down here though, like we don't. Like, I mean, we play, you know, the covers that we know and stuff.
Feels more serious, though.
It's just the mentality now is that we're writing music. And that if we don't try to do this now, then we're not going to do it, you know? So,
like you said, different mindset, you know, you moved to LA, it definitely makes you mature up a little bit, I feel like.
Yeah, all of us. I mean, he's been living on his own for a while, but me and Shane are pretty...
Well, yeah, I've been living by myself for about 2 years now. But
yeah.
Still, you know what I mean? Like, it just moving to LA and like, because you know everyone down here is trying to do shit that we're trying to do, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just makes you like, you know, like I said, like you don't, if you just keep playing cover songs, that's cool and all, but you're not gonna really do anything with that.
Yeah.
Like you
there's no progress.
Exactly. Like you might, like I said, you might be able to just have fun, you know, talk to girls, whatever, have fun, have a good time, but to really take it seriously, you have to have original music.
Yeah, that's the nice part about living here too, is my roommate was the one that convinced me to move to Hollywood I asked him, I was like, well, why not like Santa Monica? Why not close to the beach? And
I was thinking the same. I was talking to him about this the other day.
He says that just the motivation here, everyone's working together but also separately, but everyone's so motivated to make it here in Hollywood, or just in the LA, you know, North LA area, that's just where you're gonna get less distracted, more driven, with all these people that want to make it just as bad as you.
A lot of people are just doing the same stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like same industry type of stuff, which has been cool for us too, because we've met like even just doing this now, like I have
so many people.
Yeah, like videographers and music managers and people that are like just, and it hasn't been, someone was asking me, it's like, is it like extremely competitive and like toxic and like all this stuff, and like we're not at a level to where that would be a problem anyway, because like we're no one right now, you know, but like everyone that we've met have been extremely supportive, and it's like, you know, they're like, oh, let's like go shoot a music, like we're dropping an acoustic session tonight that we recorded a few weeks ago, from, you know, a friend of ours that's like a videographer, and then like I said, like my friend from school, like our buddy, he was our neighbor actually, like he's like doing like music management stuff now, and he wants to help us out and like all this different kind of stuff, and it's like all these people are here like with the same mentality, and it's like it's been a very positive experience so far, and I'm hoping it's going to be the same once we start getting more involved in the actual scene, when we start playing and stuff, you know. But it's been cool. It's just cool that everyone's down here to do the same shit.
Yeah,
know?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that yesterday, you know, like he just said, I feel like a lot of people have like that stereotypical mindset of LA being, you know, like harsh and everyone's just toxic, and you know, and everyone's like so like out to get you, but it's like in reality, if you just surround yourself by your group of people that you get along with, you know, just like in any situation, then you're gonna be fine.
Have you had that experience yet? Like people like just trying to reach out to people and then being super unresponsive and like rude? Yeah,
definitely. You know, like I said, not just with anything. A lot of times you're gonna take a lot of no's before you take a yes.
Especially with the big labels and
you
know.
Yeah, with the big labels, with anyone, you know, I've reached out to plenty of people on Instagram, you know, and a lot of times, you know, we'll talk, but and then they just will end up not responding, like ghost me. You know, you probably had the same experience.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's just how it is, and that's how you just kind of filter out and shuffle out the people that don't really belong working with you. You know, you don't want to surround yourself by those people. You want to surround yourself by people that are dedicated and that actually want the same thing and that are really willing to like work for it.
Yeah, even the other, not even just people in the industry, but other bands as well that I've met. I mean, we just learn from each other. We'll ask questions, like, oh, what equipment are you using, stuff like that. and almost every time the conversation ends with, well, we should play a show together.
Yeah.
We should like play a show together. Nobody cares about who's headlining, who's opening. They just want to play, do a show. They want to. I mean, half of it probably is because people just miss playing shows from COVID. So I think everyone's just eager to get back.
Do you feel like I had this weird thought, or it wasn't like originally from me, but I was listening to Rick Rubin's podcast, and he was talking about how he feels like people are speaking as if there's going to be like some moment of like finality with COVID, and like we're all going to go back, and there's going to be like one first show, and it's like, oh, it's going to be this big thing. But in reality, I feel like it might be more like we go, at first you have to have masks, and you have to be 25% the capacity. So I don't, to me, it's like, I think live music's on the horizon, but I don't know if it's going to be like back to how it was for a while.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, like we said earlier, like Nashville and Austin, I think they're
Are they even full shows?
Hell yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hell yeah.
But
No mask and all that.
I mean,
shit.
I don't know about like concerts, like at
Probably not thousands of people.
I don't know
but,
about like theater shows,
Uh-huh.
but I've seen bars with live bands with hundreds.
the kind
of
of
people.
Wow.
the kind of stuff we would play, like
It would work.
like the most packed venue we could imagine for like our level right now is 100% going to be there.
But
You know,
LA is definitely.
LA's going to take a while for sure.
Yeah.
But
It's more of a.
yeah.
But we are willing to travel.
Right?
That's it. Yeah, right. But it's also like
Head out to Nashville.
yeah.
East Coast tour.
Yeah.
I guess it's not East Coast, but
But Nashville. Got the
Huh?
Midwest tour.
That's an East Coast. That's
Midwest,
East
South.
Coast.
East. No.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be overcompensated too by like how excited people are to see live music and just like have that human connection again.
Yeah, they don't care who they're watching.
I think it'll be crazy. Like I said, like I don't
Yeah.
think there's gonna be one moment of finality, but I think it'll be like just being back in the environment. It's gonna be pretty crazy. It'll be really exciting.
Yeah, these festivals are already sold out. They have Outside Lands.
Yeah, but I'm going to Outside Lands.
Yeah.
I bought tickets for Friday. I'm
Halloween or
pumped.
something. But yeah, they sold out super fast.
Hella
People are
fast.
just eager to get back. They do have capacity, so I'm curious it's still got to be a ton of people, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. Like that was the weird thing to me. It's like I know the capacity was lowered, but it's like how much was it lowered? Because they don't really specify any of that. I'm sure you could find it, but and I don't think to the best of my knowledge, we're not gonna have to wear masks at Outside Lands or anything like that because it's all outside.
It's probably
Yeah.
going to be like a perfect amount of people.
There's no way they're gonna
As
be able
far
to
as
control
watching.
all those people wearing masks anyway.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't
No,
matter.
Like,
It's like, all right, we're not playing music until everyone puts their masks on.
stop the song.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
And that's like I don't think any venue. I feel like venues will definitely realize that. I don't think you're gonna be able to mandate masks at a venue. There's gonna be like no point. So it's like it's either you wait till everybody's vaccinated, or at some point I feel like you do have to say we're gonna do this now. But it's weird because it's like I don't know. I feel like it would be mostly beneficial if you told somebody, oh, you have to have this percentage of the people going to your show vaccinated. That would make sense, but then it gets kind of sticky with people like, oh, if I'm not vaccinated, I want to go to the show or whatever. It's like a weird situation.
Right. Well, the whole vaccine thing is, whether you can ask someone or not, is kind of a weird
It's like a weird middle ground
topic
thing.
right now.
Yeah.
Whether, because I know it's technically illegal to like ask.
Camrose has no official COVID statements to make it this time.
I don't know what questions venues are allowed to ask or not. So
Yeah.
That's kind of up to the venue.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if it's even legal for them to say like, oh,
Right. I doubt it.
It's a weird time. It's going to be interesting to see what the entertainment industry, like just in general,
Yeah.
what's going to happen in the next year or two. But
That's
at some point,
that's not
things
even up to us. So
people got to
yeah.
figure it out, you know, at some
Yeah.
point.
that'll be someone else's problem.
we're just the music players. We let people that get paid more than us handle those decisions.
So this acoustic set you guys have coming, where was that recorded at?
Griffith Park.
Okay, and then who'd you say
Yeah.
recorded it?
Gwyneth Jones.
Gwyneth Jones. Yeah.
Wow. So are these all originals you were playing?
Yeah, it was just one song that we ended up doing.
Uh-huh.
You know, we had ideas like, oh, we'll go out there and, we'll do a few. Yeah, I definitely did the same song, did 10 takes and did different parts. And, yeah. But yeah, we're planning on, we thought it'd be a good way to because obviously recording, our studio, EP and stuff is going to take a while. So we thought this would be a good way to keep people engaged while we're getting that done, is that we can so there still was a decent amount of production that went behind it, but we can still kind of start sharing our music with people and give them a taste of like kind of just like what we're about. Like it's kind of hard to like start up an Instagram and try to get social media traction when you like literally have no content, like we were saying, like so it's just something for us to kind of do to give people like an introduction. We don't have any plans on really like once we start gigging doing anything acoustic, but that's kind of how we always started playing, like because we did like a lot of reggae and alternative indie kind of stuff. Like we always loved playing acoustic, and we loved doing acoustic versions of the covers that we played and all that kind of stuff. So we just thought it'd be fun, and Griffith was a beautiful place, and there's not much to do during COVID, so we figured it was a good opportunity to start getting some stuff out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it seems very true to like your roots, like how you guys kind of started songwriting, just like the two of you just acoustically. Is that kind of like an intimate setting you want to bring to any of your live shows?
Maybe eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I personally love the full band.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
it's just different.
It's like once you have more of a fan base that are willing to sit through the slower songs and acoustic, yes, but I feel like a lot of times when you're at concerts, you want to.
Right.
Exactly.
It's more like
Rage.
you want to like kind of dance. Acoustics are cool and all, like I said, once you have that fan base.
Yeah.
To be honest,
until that point, I think
Yeah.
The only reason we ever did acoustic anything is because
out of necessity.
Had to be quiet for some
Yeah,
reason.
straight up.
Or they didn't have the drummer or the bassist.
Yeah, exactly.
It does create a different like ambiance, but we never really play acoustic because like we want to play acoustic. It's more because we don't have any power source.
Yeah.
And we have to play quiet.
Yeah, but I do like it for writing. Like no matter how heavy the song is gonna be, I always personally started on acoustic, just because I focus more on the complexities of like the chords and stuff that I'm gonna be playing. Because it's, for me at least, like it's really easy to get lost in just like banging out a bunch of power chords. When you're playing electric and you're like, oh, that sounds sick, like whatever, But for me and like Evan, at least, like a lot of our songs, like we go pretty in depth with the stuff that we're trying to write, and it's helpful for us at least to not be blowing our ears out and like just focus on the little complexities of each part of the song before we bring it to an electric set. And then like once we have that dialed in, like it's like we just go from there.
That makes sense.
So I do, and especially with like my singing and stuff too, like because when I'm writing that song and stuff like that, like you just hear it differently when it's through a speaker, and it's like, especially when it's like like it's like crunched up a lot and stuff, it's a little harder to like find the melody that I want to use for it and stuff like that. So a lot of my songwriting has always been acoustic first, and then bringing it to an electric set.
Do you usually, and then when you're doing that, at what point do you usually bring in the lyrics and the vocal line? Does that come before the guitar part or after the guitar part?
It's been different for me at different times. I got my degree in English studies, and
cool.
All my creative writing emphasis was on poetry. So sometimes I do write, just to write, and it's in poetic form though. I do like a lot of like open form kind of stuff, so it could sometimes I'll write poetry and then one line will stick out to me, and I'll use that as inspiration for like when me and Evan have some guitar stuff, or but more often than not we'll come up with the guitar and the song structure first, and then from there I'll kind of start writing to it. But yeah, I mean it all depends. We kind of it's changed over the years. Like we used to start with lyrics. We used to just start with guitar and then try to write the whole song before we brought lyrics to it. But it just changes, and we kind of just go with whatever we're feeling.
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes I have nothing to say, at the time. So sometimes I'll just be like da da da, and I'll come up with that part because I have like nothing to sing about that I'm feeling motivated to.
Just kind of get the melody down first.
Yeah.
I think when you write the lyrics first to a song, then it's different because you got to try writing music that will help.
It closes down your creativity because like if you have like a certain like cadence, or like when I'll write something, I'll have it in my head like a way that I want a song to sound, and that's not a very creative way to like get after writing in general.
Well, sometimes it's nice because then you can pick a style that will more fit the lyrics.
And then there also has been times where like I just like we'll come up with a song concept, and I'll be like, let me look through my phone, like let me look through my poetry like stuff real quick, like, let me just see what I have. And I'll sometimes be like, I'll like be like listening to the song that he's playing, and I'm like, oh dude, this poem is like, this is it, lyrics are done. Like I already, like, with some tweaking and stuff, but like I already have that kind of stuff. So like it's a combination of both, of like stuff that I write just for me personally with like poetry, stuff like that, and then bringing it to music. So it changes, but like, yeah.
That's interesting that you write a lot of poetry and stuff like that. Do you read a lot as well?
Yeah, I'm a big reader. Yeah.
Does that play a big role in your music and your writing?
Yeah, I would say that it plays a big role in the way that I'm able to express myself. Like being an English major and stuff like that has definitely helped with my writing process, obviously. And like I said, I take a lot of poetry classes. I've read quite a lot of poetry. But yeah, not as much like inspiration, but it's definitely helped me expand my vocabulary and expose me to different styles of writing, like different ways to, like the thing that I always tell people, like the thing that I love most about writing songs and like, there's not a lot of human experiences that are new, right? Like we all live in a generally structured world where most of the things that we experience are similar to what other people experience. But I think that the beauty in written word is that what makes something creative and what makes something beautiful, like say like Steinbeck or something, like some of these great authors of their time, like it wasn't because they were necessarily writing a new story. It was because they were able to write it and say it in a way that hadn't been said before. And I think that's what's really awesome about written word. And a lot of the stuff that I write about like isn't necessarily like crazy new stuff or like something that I think that I'm special, or that I think that like this whatever experience that I'm deciding to write about or feelings that I'm feeling are special. It's just like I try to say it in a way that people haven't heard it before, and maybe that'll catch their attention and make them more in tune with that, something that they felt that way. And that's why I've always been interested in written word.
That's cool. And I think a lot of musicians feel as this is something that I found. I write a lot too, more like creative writing type stuff. But I've found that a lot of the times I have a much easier time writing something down than saying it. So writing for me has always been like an emphasis on being able to express these things that I think but can't always verbalize.
That's a big thing for people too.
Yeah, I think a lot of musicians take that too. It's like you can write songs about things that you can't always articulate with your voice.
Yeah, and and to speak to that, like I always like joke around with people like it's really hard for me to write a happy song, lyrically. Not that they're all like sad, but like they're all have more of a serious note. And I would always joke with Evan about this when we were trying to like write reggae. Like it was so hard for me to write like reggae lyrics because it's generally upbeat stuff, And like you were said though, like a lot of the stuff I write about is stuff that it's more difficult for me to talk about, but that's my creative outlet for it, and that's like how I let that energy out. And some of that stuff that like affects me like in a deep way, like I have to write it out. And so when most of my writing is in a more serious note or dealing with more serious and things that isn't necessarily you're able to talk about at the coffee shop or at the bar, that's just kind of how it comes out. And I don't necessarily feel inspiration to write happy stuff all the time.
It's a lot of people.
I don't think life is all happy, and I don't think necessarily people need to hear that shit in a different way. I think people need help dealing with the emotions that they can't necessarily express all the time, So
Elliott Smith would talk about that a lot, talking about how he struggled writing happy songs, and he struggled like finding a place to where he could just talk about things in his songs that were happy, because there wasn't very much happiness in his life. And I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to that, because it's like if somebody's extremely happy, you're not really in the mindset to write about something completely sad. And if you're completely sad, you're generally not in the mindset to write about something completely happy.
Yeah, but I think it's also like what you want to do with that. Like when I'm happy, I don't want to write. You know, when I'm happy, I want to go be with my friends and share human connection. When I'm sad, I want to lock myself in my room, turn off the lights, and write some shit or listen to sad songs. And like that's when I need to get that stuff out, because I can't share it with people. Now, like sometimes I feel like I can't share it with people, so I have to get it out some other way. When I'm happy, I just want to be like out there. I don't feel like, oh, I'm so happy, I'm so stoked about life right now, like I'm gonna write a poem. Like it's not like how it is for me for the most part.
And I feel like that's one of the most appreciative things about just writing music and a form of expression in general. It's just such a release for so many people. A complete release. Yeah. You guys have your eyes on any venues particular in LA yet? Like, are there any spots that you want to play really bad, or did you not know them yet?
I'm new. I don't know what's up.
I just want to play shows, man.
I feel you.
I'm not really a big I don't really care.
Have you even been to? Did you move here before COVID?
Weeks. Just a couple weeks.
I was gonna say, have you even been to shows here?
Yeah. Well, there's that one. What's the one that Motley Crue played at on Sunset?
It's in dirt. They talk about it in dirt.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I drive past and I eat right next to there all the time. But
I know plenty of venues.
There's a few cool places on Sunset. There's venues in Hollywood.
Like I said, I played shows for like 5 people before. I played shows for a bunch of people before. I just want to play shows.
Yeah.
To me, it don't matter.
Yeah.
I just want to play shows.
I feel like we know a good amount of people in the area to where we can get, a big enough crowd to be comfortable for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have the quality
else
too.
wants to come after that.
And that's the thing too, like even if like the whole crowd is like set, it's like 90% people we know.
Yeah.
You know, like that's cool because we have supportive friends and that's rad. But then those 10% of people that just came for another band or they came for because they heard music or they would just want to grab a beer
or whatever.
Like they're gonna hear us and like we're pretty good. Like it's it's gonna be pretty it's gonna be a great way to. That's why I think it's gonna take us to start playing shows to actually try to gain some traction, and we'll get a real good gauge of that after this summer, I think, to see where this is going.
Hell yeah, man!
You know?
Do you know or have any insight into when the summer EP is gonna be released? Like what's been on the rocks for that?
Singles first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're gonna slowly release this EP single by single, and then eventually turn it into an EP. Once we start on either an album or something like that. So we're hoping by the end of the year to have at least 4 or 5 singles released.
Cool. It's exciting, man. I'm pumped to hear you guys. When
Thanks,
you
dude.
become fully realized and start putting stuff out. I'm really pumped to. I'd love to come back down here and see you guys play too. That'd be sick.
You come back down and do a live session.
Yeah,
that'd be cool
let's
too.
do that for sure.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get up to the Bay soon too and start playing. There's no reason we can't take a few days off, and we've been talking about once gigs start happening, just to do up and down California a little bit would be kind of fun.
That would be sick.
Already
Everywhere.
set over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Come crash at my place.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I had you here, so you got to return the favor.
Yeah, I got to return the favor. All right, guys. Appreciate you sitting down with me. This good conversation.
Real
Thank you so much.
Thank you
real
for
quick. Shout out. Follow Camrose on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
tell them where to find you. Tell them where the music is.
Camrose_official. We're gonna be releasing our acoustic session tonight. I don't know when you're gonna be posting this, but it'll be on the page probably when people see
It'll
this.
be there.
And then just be on the lookout for shows and stuff.
Yeah, when this releases, we'll probably have hopefully, in a week or two after this releases, our single coming out. So keep your eyes out for that. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Dante.
Thank you, brother.